Social media used to be fun. It used to be a place where you can go and make friends and just post some cringy content without thinking that maybe in the next 5 years, some company you work for is gonna go back on your Facebook that you made 13 years ago to go look at some content you made and literally punish you because of the thoughts you had back then. And I'm not talking about, people who posted really horrible things. I'm just talking about maybe if you apply for like an old Christian company and then you have to now go back to social media and delete any video you had of you maybe just in a bikini. I think it's gotten to that point, and that's why social media is kind of boring. Another thing that makes social media really exhausting these days is the horrible disease called individualism and how we are negatively using that term in our own selfish ways. I want to post a picture, but I want you and everybody else who follows me to participate on that picture that I posted. Comment, like, share, do whatever you can. But if you post, I feel that I'm not obligated to do the same. Or if I do post a picture of myself or if you post a picture of yourself and then I comment on it, then I feel like you have an obligation to me to also like, share, and comment because I did you that favor. It seems like general interactions nowadays are becoming more of a favor. Social media is its own job. There's a reason why big creatives, companies, and celebrities literally pay people just to manage their social medias. It's not because maybe they don't want to, but because this is actually a very exhausting thing to do. Imagine being on 4 social media platforms at the same time. You're on YouTube, you're on Instagram, you're on Facebook, you're on X or Twitter. Now it seems like you need to be a master of all trades. You need to know how to navigate Facebook, Twitter, and every single thing. And so you kind of left into this point whereby I'm not good at any of them, or it got to a point whereby we're just now annoyed with all of them. And that is a horrible thing because, once again, social media is meant for us to be social. It also gets really annoying where you feel like you're no longer interacting with humans, but you're interacting with bots. That social media has lost its authenticity, and that's what we miss most about it. And how do you take these breaks that every single creator is recommending that you take, to a point whereby you're kind of reading books because you just don't know how to do it anymore? You're seeking outside help. These are the, I'd say, 4 to 5 things that you can do in order for you to take those breaks off of social media without breaking your soul or feeling that you actually have to now delete Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok in order for you to take that break. So here goes nothing. If you are watching a movie, you're planning on watching a movie, watch that movie. You need to unlearn the skill of multitasking, because a lot of multitasking just ends up making you anxious because you start 10 projects and you don't finish any of them. Don't watch the movie while you're scrolling on TikTok. And if you find that, I have a favorite part of the movie, let me just quickly take a video of it. You can just finish the movie and then go back and take whatever you want to take from that movie. It's not for news. You don't always have to be on TikTok to be updated on news. That's not always the case. In fact, most news platforms have their own applications anyways, so you don't have to be on TikTok to watch news. In fact, when you watch something on YouTube, and yes, though YouTube usually will recommend other channels, half the time they recommend channels that are very similar to something that you just watched. The other thing is, when somebody is talking to you or you're having a conversation with somebody, it doesn't have to be something deep. When I'm just conversing with you guys, I would actually prefer it if you weren't on your phone, because listening is a skill, and part of that skill is you not scrolling on TikTok and while I am talking to you, you're showing me funny videos. I don't think that's cute. I personally don't find that cute. Please don't be on your phone. And I'm not saying now just focus on me, because conversations, how they go is that we start off by easing into it, and then maybe if something is bothering me or bothering you, then maybe we end up talking about it. But how am I going to engage in your conversation if while you're talking I am on my phone? It actually, I think, sends you a signal that I don't really care about what you're saying. We need to unlearn the multitasking skill so that we can do one thing at a time. Not everything needs to be posted. Not every time you go out you need to post. Not every time you interact with somebody you need to post. Not every single thing in your life needs to be up there. When you start disengaging from social media or decentering social media, you get to have your life back, because you're not always there. You don't always feel the need to post. Because your neighbor, you two went bowling and he posted and he got 1,000 views, and you're like, oh my god, I could have also posted and maybe I could have gotten a couple of views. You don't have to post everything. We need to start learning to kind of maintain some level of privacy, especially in this day and age whereby privacy is literally like gold. Guys, is drink water and mind your own business, really, sometimes on social media, because we're not necessarily curious as to, oh, I wonder what B is up to. It's more or less, I wonder what she's doing. Focus on yourself. And though this sounds like I'm promoting individualism is good as long as it is appropriate and positive. Not in a way that you feel that though you don't owe anybody anything, everybody owes you something. Everybody must be empathetic and sympathetic to the things that happen to you, but in turn, you do not care about anybody. That's not the type of, I'd say, community you want to live in. And I think that's how we become very flaky friends. It's because we think that only our traumas matter, only the things that happen to us matter. So then anything that happens outside of us is not really important or relevant. So you need to kind of also start learning to mind your own business and be happy for people. It's okay. And you can also just comment on somebody's Facebook post without feeling the need that they have to do the same for you. They don't have to. And it's not that they don't owe you anything. You don't even know what's going on. Maybe when you were celebrating your big achievement, they were going through one of the worst weeks of their lives. And quite frankly, they don't have to explain themselves to you, nor do they have to like every single post you put out there, even though you liked what they shared. It's not about me liking what you shared so that you can like back what I shared. It's about, ooh, I like that post. Post, like, comment, forget about it, okay? The world does not necessarily revolve around you. Earth is full of billions of people. And I think the more we understand that, the more we're gonna start decentering social media and also feeling bad every single time somebody posts online. Another way you can decenter yourself from social media is understanding that the characters are real, but the experiences are curated. So it's the people that you know, it's the people that you grew up with that are achieving big things. So of course you're gonna feel somewhat bad or guilty because maybe you didn't work as hard, or you think you didn't work as hard, or why you're not where they are, because these are real people. And I think that's what people don't really talk about. It's difficult for me not to feel bad or some sort of envy or jealousy if somebody I grew up with is achieving things beyond even my imagination. I mean, starting businesses, being on television and stuff like that. And then I also had somewhat of an equal opportunity, maybe even better, and I am amounting to nothing, because I'm saying nothing because in air quotations, because I don't really think anybody amounts to nothing, but that's how I feel. But what you need to understand is that the experiences they have are curated. They took the time to edit their lives. They will not show you the many rejection letters they got, or maybe even though they got that job, it's probably the worst paying job they've ever had. That's not for you to know. For you, your business is just to congratulate them. And then maybe once you guys start talking again, that's when they'll tell you that, hey, though I'm happy that I got this job, man, it's probably one of the worst paying jobs ever. And the only way you probably know this, if you care, is by talking to them and not just being on social media or seeing me on a ski in Mexico does not necessarily equate to me being successful. And even if it doesn't, quite honestly, like I said again, not every little bit of my life is your business. Even if we're friends, I'm entitled to some privacy, whether we're friends or not. Experiences are curated, characters are real, but that's not for you to feel bad about yourself or your particular experiences. Some people are just better storytellers than you. You could both literally be going through the same thing, or your story could be more inspiring and worse than they are, but it's the way they tell the stories that the people receive them. Okay, context is very important. And so maybe if you're not that good of a storyteller, maybe your videos won't be as viral. The times have changed. Maybe people aren't as empathetic to stories like that anymore. So it's very different. So the benefits of not being on social media often, as opposed to deleting it, is that you get to be a generally calm person because you're not interacting with clickbaits, rage baits, anger baits, sad baits. Whatever bait there is, you are not in it 100%. Self-care is a huge part of community care. I cannot help you if I'm down. We can't both be down. You also get to be more active in your life. By not scrolling on TikTok while your friends are talking to you, you're actively listening, which means that you can pick up body language, even if they tell you, oh man, I had a great day. But if their body language is not saying that, this is where you can come in and say, hey man, what's wrong? You also get to enjoy life a little bit more by watching that movie full on without scrolling on YouTube. You get to understand the inside jokes, you get to fully understand and also engage with that movie, and you don't really forget about it. How many times have you watched a movie while watching TikTok and you had to restart the movie simply because you genuinely don't remember what was happening? You remember watching the movie, but you also don't really remember the content you were watching on TikTok because you are also passively there. So it helps you become a bit more present, and not as opposed to being like a passive person in general, to finally reconnect with the world properly. You can watch my 30 seconds world update, or you can watch the 30 minutes world update on actual news, full of accuracy as opposed to just my opinion. Are some news channels full of propaganda these days? Yes, but how are you going to be able to tell the difference if you don't even watch news? How are you going to know what's propaganda, what's not, what was filtered, what's not, if you don't watch different news and not just content creators who are summarizing news for you? Because content is attention based, and so I have to leave some parts out of a story in order to maintain your attention. It just helps with your general mental health. So don't delete social media. Just take a break.